Hi, everyone. Good morning. Happy Father's Day. It's Sunday, so welcome to Restorative Yoga with Diana on Sunday, or Sunday morning, I should say. For those of you that have never done restorative yoga before, it's what we call an active relaxation practice. And so what you would want to have besides you, if you have these lying around. I'll give it a couple moments, but I'll just point them out so that you can grab them. I have a couple pillows here. So these are just regular pillows I have on my bed. This can help with some additional support as we move through each sequence or each pose, I should say. And then I also have a blanket here. So this comes in really handy if it's a blanket, a towel, whatnot. You can either use it as support or cushion, or even just, something that will kind of like roll up maybe during one of our poses, just to give us a little bit of an elevation. And then one other thing I have is blocks. So you don't need two, you can probably just get one, but have that handy because that can also just help when it comes to elevating the hips in a little bit. So yeah, with that, we will get started in just a moment. But I wanted to point those out so that if you are joining from home today, or wherever you are joining from, welcome and good morning. You have a chance to get a hold of those props so that we can get our practice going. And so for those that are already prepared, you've been here before, welcome back. Great to have you again. Sunday morning, it's been kind of June gloom lately. I'm just looking outside right now. And so what'll be really nice about this practice today is really just like we do every Sunday, just kind of feeling it in, right? So as you're ready, maybe you grab your blanket, maybe you grab the towel that you have. We can just sit on that if you want. Otherwise, start your practice however you'd like, in whatever position you'd like. I'm starting in a seated pose here. Just putting myself on the blanket for a little bit and starting to tune into my own breath, right? Tuning into my body, closing the eyes, and just starting to let everything sink and settle, right? So drawing the shoulders and the collarbones away from your ears, maybe lengthening the spine just a little bit, just to feel a little bit longer. And then I know even for myself, as I'm doing this, I'm feeling the back open up just a little bit, or maybe even just waking up, right? So moving through this right now. And then, keeping your eyes closed, tuning into your breathing. Take a nice inhale through the nostril. Noticing how the air is moving through your throat, moving down your chest, perhaps down the ribs and the belly. And then allowing that to exhale, so emptying the belly, emptying the ribs, moving through the chest, the throat, and then coming back out through your nose. And then we'll do this a couple more times. Again, with your own breath, at your own pace. And with each breath movement, inviting the opportunity to allow yourself to scan how you're feeling this morning, how your body's feeling, what your body's telling you. And again, it's just a reminder, with restorative yoga, we'll have a few poses moving through, but what's different from this one compared to our other poses is that with this practice, it's going to be fewer movements, but we hold them longer. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning.
Few movements, holding them longer. And with that, that's just an opportunity to let each pose just kind of melt and just kind of reverberate, or just kind of feel how it goes through your body. So with that, let's grab our pillows and our blocks if you have them. We'll move into our first position here. So we'll move into a gentle child's pose. So getting the blocks ready if you want, or if you have even firm cushions instead of just like pillows, you can grab those too. So my pillows tend to be a little bit soft, and so what I'm adding are just the blocks underneath to give some additional support. And let me just adjust my screen so that it's easier to see what I'm doing. All right, there we go. And then yeah, okay. So as we've got going here, so having the blocks, maybe getting pillows, maybe two if that's better for you. So just kind of feel it out for yourself. You know, there's always a moment to adjust if you want. And then we come up to all fours very gently as we then shift our hips back onto our heels. So preparing for a child's pose. And again, this is the restorative version. So bringing your support close to the belly or close to your midsection so that as you're folding over, you're already in contact with it, right? So whenever you're ready, placing the sides, or placing your hands on each side of the pillows or the cushions, whatever you have. And then as you exhale, just coming on down and just allowing yourself to melt into this. And then definitely as you're moving in, just, you know, feel it out, adjust as you need. I'll be keeping time for us, and I'll make sure to cue when we transition to the next side. But for now, keeping it here, you're invited to close your eyes if you want. And then just start to notice, even if it's just like a passive notice too, right? Just where there's a little bit of tightness right now as you're just first into this pose. But then really as you stay here, and maybe if this is a little bit too much on the knees too, opportunity to grab a blanket if you want and just slide it underneath your heels or slide it between your butt and your heels so that you have a little bit of a support and a cushion there. And again, just as you exhale, just coming on down and allowing yourself to just kind of melt into this. So falling on top of your support, on top of the props. And then just noticing how this pose evolves as you inhale and exhale. And if you haven't already, taking a moment to switch sides. So moving your cheek to look in the opposite direction, or resting your cheek on, resting on the other side of your cheek, turning your gaze to the opposite side. And again, here as you've felt more of this pose, if you want to add a blanket between your heels and your sitting bones, that's fine. If it feels okay to even just remove it and feel the pose a little bit differently, take a moment to do that. And then even with this side, start to notice too, maybe you felt some of the opening happening from the back or the midsection, the ribs. Notice how it felt just to kind of roll down your arms as well. Maybe roll down your arms out through, the hands and the fingers. Just noticing what it feels like to allow whatever tightness there might be, whatever energy unexpelled, help just kind of release through this pose. Okay, on your next inhale, gently press your hands onto the ground, helping you to support as you press yourself back up. I hear my joints waking up already. I don't know if you all heard that too. All right, and we'll put the props over to the side. We'll reposition moving into the second one. So you can take the blocks off if you have them as well. And this time we'll lay on our bellies. So if you want, you can bring a pillow or two or maybe a blanket back, putting that at the top of your mat. And so I'll show you what we'll move into so you can make the call on what's best for you. So we'll lie down, just coming on down onto our bellies. And this will be, the aim of this pose is just open up the back a little bit. And so what we'll do is we'll rest our chest on it. And for the first one, we'll bend our left arm. We can rest our head, our cheek on top of it if we want to. And then we'll just extend the right arm long and down by our side, the palms up. So already I'm noticing for myself with one pillow, it's just a little bit too soft. So I'm actually going to grab the second pillow that I have so I can give myself just a little bit more of a elevation when it comes to helping to open up the mid back here and the lower back. So that's really what we're targeting with this one, is to see how it feels to just kind of open and release a little bit. So again, I've added a second pillow. Yogi's choice. You know what's going to be best for your body. But with that, I'm having the left arm bent underneath right now. So my chin or my cheek is going to be resting maybe just below the arm, or you can rest it on top of the hand as well. My right arm actually is long and it's extended up to my side. right along my ribs and my right leg. The palm is turned up. And then whenever you're ready, just exhale as you allow yourself to come into this pose. So it's coming on down. Just noticing how it feels to open up the back just a little bit, right? We're elevating the top part of our body, our upper body, just so that we can give a little bit of release to the back ribs, the midsection, and the lower back. So whenever you're ready, I'll meet you in this pose. And then also one thing, what you're also feeling is what's happening on the right arm as you have that just extended, just relaxed, palm turned up. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of a relaxation or opening release happening down through the right arm as well. If you want to adjust your head a little bit, maybe look forward, maybe that has a little bit better of a support and release for you. Go ahead and do that. Again, just yogi's practice, so you feel it out and adjust as necessary. Transitioning over to the other side. So bring your right arm up, bending at the elbow, putting the arm just above your head or maybe below your chin. We'll turn our head in the other direction if that felt okay the first time. With the left arm, we'll extend it long back, extend it straight, and then we'll put the palm up as we rest the arm down on the ground. And again, with this, if it felt okay for your neck and your head to turn to the left side and look out that way as you move into this pose. Go ahead and do that for the other side. Otherwise, if you want to keep the neck just looking for, your gaze is looking forward a little bit, maybe resting your chin instead on the pillow or whatever cushion you have to support you in this pose, go ahead and do that. And then whenever you're ready, just take a breath, let it out as you melt into this pose. So again, notice here what's happening now, what you're feeling now when it comes to the midsection of the mid-back, mid-ribs, lower back, feeling a little bit of release. And then the left arm too. So what's happening? What are you feeling on the left side? I'm just going to switch over so you can see what's going on my left side as well. And so that I'm actually speaking to the camera, not looking away. Again, here, extend the left arm back, palm is up, and then just allowing yourself to kind of melt into this one as well. So maybe even noticing that there's a little bit of release happening in the chest area because you do have this additional support. Next breath, take an inhale, bending the left arm up, placing it next to you, palms down on the ground. Bring the right hand and right arm over to your side, planting that hand down on the ground. And then whenever you're ready as you get ready to bring your upper body off, pressing your hands down on your inhale. Let's bring ourselves up off the mat, moving down to seated. So removing the pillows, this time off the mat again. For a moment, let's just sit and we'll take a nice side opening here. So in your seated pose right now, just draw the shoulder away from the ears, open the collarbone here. Take a nice exhale just through the mouth, let it out. Then on your next inhale, we'll inhale up your right arm. So reach for the ceiling. On the exhale, let's lean over to the left side. So to your left side, just feeling that nice compliment of opening on the sides, the ribs. We're just working on the back, so maybe that feels a little bit different right now. Maybe that feels a little bit warm already. And then inhale the arm back up. Exhale, coming on down, and we'll do it on the other side. So inhale, left arm up, reach for the ceiling. Before you exhale, lean over to your right side. Your right hand is on the ground to support you here. And then just as you breathe in, noticing maybe there's a little bit of opening happening on the right, on your left side. Exhale, just deepen that just a little bit. One more breath in, maybe there's a little bit more space to open. And whenever you're ready, we bring that arm back up. Exhale the hand down. And then moving to next pose. So this is going to be a supported heart opener. So with that, if you have the pillows, you can use it. I will be, I'm going to use my blanket actually this time. You can use a towel as well. And so it's going to be a positioned, well, we're going to lay down on our mat. So it's going to be positioned to where when we lay down, it'll help elevate our chest area. And so whichever prop is going to be the most supportive for you. For me in this instance, I want to try using my blanket, use a towel if you want. So you can actually just roll it if that's okay for you. So that just gives a little bit more of a firm foundation. Move these pillows out of the way. All right, so placing it on your mat, wherever your back and your shoulders are going to reach. Shift yourself over. And actually before we transition down, if you want to even just have a block on each side of your mat or whatever you want to use, we'll just keep it on the side for now. That'll just make it easier to move to the next pose afterwards. All right, and so whenever you're ready, we'll scooch our way down just a little bit. Gently lower ourselves down to our elbows and then down on our backs. Just shift that way just to make it easier for you to see. And then on your elbows, yeah, gently lowering down. And then take a moment to get a feel of where it'll best support you when it comes to just opening your heart. So for me, where I'm feeling it is as I lie back, it'll feel really nice just underneath the shoulder blades here. If you need a little bit of a cushion for your head, you know, you can grab one of the pillows that I had earlier to give that support. But otherwise, if it feels good for you just to have that rolled up towel or blanket below, that's fine too. Again, for me, it feels really nice where it's just underneath the shoulder blades. And then with the arms, I can actually open them out. So open them out to just airplane wings where you just extend to the side, or you can even just bend at the elbow for cactus. And so in this pose, you're feeling your upper body or that the heart space just open up. Your shoulders are dropping towards the ground and very much making contact with your mat if possible. And if not, you'll just want to adjust your support below you so that you can actually bring the shoulders down. And again, with the arms, maybe for this first part of the pose, you have it as a cactus arms, right? And so you're feeling just a little bit of that energy just kind of coming off the chest area, coming off the heart, maybe just moving through the upper arms. So take a moment, get settled into this one, whatever feels good for you. And then you can even just keep your gaze kind of looking up at the ceiling. You can, you know, close your eyes and take a rest here. Maybe that'll be a better way for you to kind of feel what's happening, what's releasing in this pose. And yeah, whenever you're ready, we'll meet here. And then just let your breath do the work and help you feel this pose. And then one note just about your legs and your feet. Kind of let them splay open naturally. Like there's something active happening. Yeah, whenever you're ready, just meet at this pose. Take a nice breath in. Exhale it out. Staying where you are. The next pose will allow us to bend at the knees, bringing it into a nice gentle butterfly. So here, you can either keep your support where it is, or if you want, maybe just raise your hips just a little bit so you can shift your support down a little bit further. This time it's supporting the lower back. And then with that too, bringing the bottom of your feet to touch. And then, starting off with the feet plant on the ground, knees together. And then as it feels good for you, starting to open the knees wider so that they come up into a butterfly pose. And here with that too, you're feeling the lower back curl a little bit. So again, the additional support here might just be really nice for your lower back. And you might have had your blocks handy on each side. So if you do and that feels good, you can bring one block and put that below one knee, and then grab the other block and bring it below the other knee if that feels good. Otherwise, you can just keep it open. Keep this a really gentle butterfly here, and then just open it out. The arms can remain in cactus if that felt good. Continuing with the heart opening, feeling the shoulders meet the ground, arms open, and then I think just with that too, maybe feeling just a little bit of the release coming off of the shoulder, just that energetic release coming out of the shoulders and moving through your forearms and out through the fingertips. Just getting a sensation and really just allowing yourself to kind of move in a very restorative way through this pose. And then similar with the lower body. So again, if you need to adjust or put some support underneath the lower back as it's curling up a little bit, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, your legs are just opened up. Having a little bit of support underneath the knees if you need. Otherwise, kind of letting them fall where they are as you continue with this opening posture. And stay here if this is okay for you. This is one variation. If you want to move into a second variation, you're going to need to bring your hands down to your legs. We'll use our hands to help bring our knees together, planting our feet on the ground. And this time, we'll extend the left leg down and just gently open up the right knee again. So slightly different. This is just kind of the half butterfly, where the left leg is extended long and the right knee is bent, and it's opening the right side of the right hip. Switching over to the other side. So first let's inhale up our hand, our right hand underneath our right knee to support that as we bring that back up. Placing the right foot on the ground. We'll extend that right leg straight. As we then bend the left knee up, we'll bring our left hand up to the left thigh as we then help guide that left leg down and open. So the left knee is bent. We're just opening to like a half butterfly. Maybe the left hand is just resting on top of the right thigh, if that feels good for you. Again, the right leg is extended out. It's not an active leg, so just extend and let it fall as it will. The right hand, you can bend at the elbow again and bring it back down to the ground, palm up for a cactus arm. And then with your breath, just allow yourself to move into this pose on this side, noticing how your awareness and the energy moves through with the left leg bent this time in half butterfly. Your next inhale, we'll bring the left arm underneath the left thigh or the left leg. We inhale as we help guide that knee back up. So we'll extend the left leg down straight. Just pedal out both feet. Just kind of pedal out, open it up. Maybe your calves are getting a little bit of a nice stretch here. All right, and then with that, next inhale, let's bend both feet or both knees so that feet are resting on the ground. This time we'll briefly inhale up, our hips off the ground. We'll transition into a restorative bridge. So with that, you can either remove the towel that you had, or actually, let's shift that down so that this time it's resting below your hips. What we want to do, what we're aiming to do with this one is, as the towel, or in this case, I'm going to switch over the block just so that people can kind of use whatever they have at their disposal, right? Whatever you have at home. So with your hips elevated, you bring that block or that towel, if you still have that, or that blanket, and just find that spot where, as you bring your hips back down, your back, your tailbone will make contact, or just above your tailbone, but your back will make contact so that when you're resting on top of it, you feel a really nice support and release there. So that's what we're aiming for with this one, is that we first lift up our hips, and this time with a block, or if you want to use that towel or that blanket as well, continue to do so. And this time we're just bringing it lower. So instead of it being in the lower back, this time it's there to support your hips. And actually the blanket feels pretty good because I feel like it's just longer when it comes to support. So again, here in this pose, it's just a restorative bridge pose. So that feels good for you. You can bring your knees to touch, just kind of knocking them together, but just keeping them there. As we then open out our arms, either back to cactus, or you could bring it to airplane and just kind of rest on the sides, or if it feels good for you too, you can even bring the arms and be close to the bottom this time. So you're just kind of resting where it feels good. We bring them kind of closer to your side, or like a 45-degree angle. It'll have a different sensation. It'll help you kind of release a little bit downward this time, palms up. So whenever you're ready, I'll meet you in this pose. If this feels good, you're welcome to stay here a little bit longer. A second variation you can do is this time inhaling the arms up and then just letting them fall overhead, just extending the arms long. And this way the tops of your arms are just resting on the ground. The bottoms of your arms are just looking up, or they're up towards the ceiling. And then just letting your arms fall overhead wherever they are. So we've gently been opening the chest and letting the shoulders melt a little bit. So here's another variation, another pose for the arms that allow them to get a different sensation as we keep them here for just a little bit longer. Noticing how the energy feels this time as it moves the upper arm or the bottom of the arm through the elbows, through the forearms, the palms, and maybe out through the fingers. Your next inhale, stretch the arms up, wiggle the fingers. Then to exhale, let's bring the arms down to our sides. We'll press our feet down so that we can energetically bring the hips off. We'll remove the prop that we have underneath, and then allowing our hips to come back down on the ground. So this one, maybe just noticing we've moved through from the upper back to the midsection to the lower back. So hopefully that feels a little bit more of a release for you now. And then getting us ready as we move into our final pose of the class, this one being Savasana. So move into whatever variation you want, just kind of staying where you are. With this one being the restorative class, here's an invitation to make it just a little bit more of a relaxing release as well. So
If you have like a pillow, or actually just like a blanket or a towel or something small, like a small piece of cloth, even a jacket would work. You can drape the edge of the blanket or the towel, whatever you have, just over the forehead, or you can even bring it over your eyes to help give you a little bit more of a pressure, to give a little bit pressure and help just offer some release. So just from the eyes or maybe the forehead, just kind of let the edge of your blanket or the towel just rest there. And this way too, as it rests there, it's rolling off the back, any pressure on your forehead or any tension there. We can do that. So just keeping it there for a few moments of Savasana. That feels good for you. Then allowing everything else to completely melt, relax on down. In this final posture of the class. Take a nice inhale. Take a nice exhale. Once more, inhale, this time bringing the arms up overhead. Stretching the arms, rotating the wrists, pedaling out the feet, rotating the ankles. Full body stretch here. Exhale it back out. And then whenever you're ready, rolling over to one side, rolling over to the right side. Taking a moment here, check in, gentle scan how everything's feeling. And then whenever you're ready, pressing the hands down on the ground to help support you as you press yourself back up to a nice seated position. So here, bring the legs in front, maybe bringing that blanket or the towel or block, whatever you had, just underneath your seat muscles. Returning to a nice seated pose, just the way we started class, just like how we started class. And then finding yourself with a soft gaze again, or keeping your eyes closed. Just taking a brief moment, checking with the collarbone open here, shoulders down, press back away from the ears. Inhale, filling the chest, filling the ribs, filling the belly. And exhale, emptying the belly, the ribs, the chest. The next inhale, you bring the arms up, palms to touch. Exhale, coming on down, a prayer.
gentle moment here, giving yourself a little bit of gratitude, giving yourself time this morning for your practice. And we'll take one more breath together. Inhale, arms up. Palms to touch up top. Exhale as you bring the hands down. Thumbs gently grazing your chest. Bowing the chin inward just a little bit. May the light in me see the light in you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful Father's Day. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Take care, and I'll catch you same time, same place next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.